Hey everyone, welcome to July. It's Stampede Week in Calgary coming up. It's hard to believe it's here already, but it is. And it's our July market report to give you the stats on what's going on in June. And by the way, I thought I'd kick things off with the fact that I have a new website that I launched. And believe me, you will love this website if you have not been on it. I have made it the most user-friendly site you will see on getting real estate information in and around Calgary, whether you're looking at condos, whether you're looking at luxury homes, townhouses, regular detached homes, or farmland acreage. Just come here to robvanoteam.ca. You can see at the top. And I promise you, once you start using this site, you will not go back to any other site. It's that good. All right, let me kick it off with some stats here. All right, these are the numbers coming right from the Calgary Real Estate Board, and you'll see, to my shock and surprise, we did 3,146 sales on MLS for the month of June. That is up from 2,837 from a year ago, which it surprised me because what's interesting is the new listing inventory was almost the same, 3,939. But look at our overall inventory. We're at 3,458, down from 5,407. So we sold more houses with less inventory. That's very interesting that would happen. So the demand continues to be really, really strong, and there doesn't seem to be an end in sight. Sales to new listings, 79.87% compared to 69.96%. And look at the sales to list price. We were over 100%. That's really incredible. So that means we saw a lot of multiple offers, and it's just really obvious when you have that kind of demand and not enough inventory to support it. You can see that our benchmark price, now this includes condos, went from $549,900 to $564,700, from a year ago. And our average price went up to $552 from $517. If we look at this chart, this is a good visual once again to just see how low our inventory is, and it's the lowest that we've seen for this time of year pretty much as long as I've been in the business, and that goes all the way back to 1999. So this is a really interesting dynamic as to what's happening, and people keep asking me why. Well, I don't know that I could pinpoint, or even anybody could pinpoint exactly, but I will tell you this. We have a lot of people right now that are locked into a lower interest rate. And a lot of these people are not too motivated to list their property because they're feeling like, hey, I'm at 2.5%. Why should I, sell my property and then have to get a mortgage at a higher interest rate? I do believe it's keeping some of these people from making a move. That being said, that eventually these people will start to put their place on the market as their mortgage comes up for renewal. But it's just at this moment, we're just not getting enough people listing, and we continue to have this demand for people that are moving here and otherwise. I saw a stat the other day that 36,000 people have moved to Calgary in the first 6 months of 2023. Pretty incredible numbers. All right, this is the chart we like to look at, the absorption rate. No surprise, but I've never seen this strong of a market in all the years I've done it, to see 92.37% of all of the listings that are listed sold. Now, this is detached houses, okay? But that's really quite incredible to see that, almost all the inventory that came on sold. Our benchmark price is up now at $685,100, for a property in Calgary, and that's going back a year ago from $645. So that's the significant difference that we made. So that's a 6% increase in prices over 1 year. So a half a point per year. So we're just continuing to see some significant gains. And like I said, there's no real end in sight. So look where we came from where we are now. I mean, it shows 655 just for so far this year on average for the whole year of 2023 compared to 2014 at 512 when you go back, 9 years. This is the hard numbers, 1,525 out of 1,651 active. So, pretty much unless your house was really just grossly overpriced, you would have sold it last month if you had a detached house. That's, I shouldn't use the word grossly overpriced, but probably even just slightly overpriced. But just because just about every other house has sold. So definitely would have to consider, the value of your property if you did not sell it in the month of June. And it just goes to show that if you didn't sell, buyers still in the midst of a tight inventory do look for value. There is a limit to what buyers are willing to pay for something. So just keep that in mind as a seller. And here's the market distribution. And you can see now that we're almost, what has taken over top spot is the $600,000 to $700,000 range. I think that's going to probably hit top spot by the end of summer. That is now going to be the highest demand for detached houses in Calgary is 600,000 to 700,000, and then 500 to 600 is going to start taking a back seat. And it really wasn't that long ago that 400 to 500 was a big market. And now it's only 13.94%. And look at how 700 to 800 has increased at 14.88%. What continues to be strong is this luxury market, 1 million to 1,500,000, which is 7% of our market. 472 properties have sold this year in that price range. So that's pretty healthy. And even this $1.5 to $2 million, which is 1.9% of the market, it's 128 properties, so it's pretty good for Calgary. That just goes to show there's a really strong market here. All right, let's look at semi-detached. 89.55% of the semi-detached houses have sold. 613,100 is the benchmark. That's up 5.98% from a year ago, and it's up 2.1% just from May. That's pretty healthy, I'll tell you. For the whole year, we're at 585. And what's amazing is you go back to 2014, it's 410. Just go back even to 2021, it was 505. I mean, really just incredible. The growth when it comes to the semi-detached and the amount of people who do like those properties. So here's the hard numbers as it just gets a little clear on the screen. Sorry it takes a little longer when you're doing these videos, but it's 240 out of 268. So, I mean, same as the detached. I mean, almost every house got, every semi-detached that was listed sold. 19 days on the market, where yet most of that is if there's conditions. So a lot of the stuff is selling within 4, 5, 6 days on the market. Getting into our market distribution, you can see now top spot 500,000 to 600,000 for a semi-detached, and 400 to 500 is now losing its ground. 3 to 4, only 12%. Pretty incredible. But look at the luxury part of the semi-detached. The infills, 800 to 900,000 at 10.8. Pretty healthy amount of people buying those, but I'm really kind of surprised by this though. 4% of the market. That's 49 have sold from $1 million to $1.5 million. So people are buying these infills. They're really going after them, and I have to say there's some real nice ones. So you've got a real mix of different types of properties when it comes to semi-detached, and no one seems to be bothered by the fact that you're attached to somebody else. They do a much better job of building those. They're a lot more soundproof, so they're in high demand. Now the townhouses, I still can't even figure out the townhouses. Like, it's just absolutely amazing, the demand for these. I mean, my goodness, I wish I was developing townhouses. You can't develop them fast enough. I mean, the absorption rate, I don't even understand this number, 123.88%. I mean, just literally anything that even remotely looks like a townhouse is selling. The demand is so high, but it's affordable, especially in the midst of these higher interest rates. People can afford to buy these, and they're the next best thing to a detached or a semi-detached, so that's why they're very popular. And our benchmark price, I mean, it's up 11.23% from a year ago. It's up 2.43% month over month. So, here we are at $400,000. I mean, it was just a year ago, we were at $359,000. I mean, that's really incredible. I mean, I never would have guessed to see that. Again, there's just no end in sight, and there's just such a demand for these townhouses. I don't know what's going to happen with them, but they're definitely being bought up, and they're being bought up by people that want to just live in them, starter homes or investment properties, whatever, that they're just in real high demand, and I think it's going to continue. So let's get into some of the hard numbers. So it's when you see 524 and 423, that's how many listings that were at the end of the month. But you can see it significantly sold, just about everything that came on the market. So it's it just doesn't even seem like there was one townhouse that even stayed standing. And here we are at the numbers, 300 to 400,000. That's the sweet spot. I mean, that's where 37% of the market is. But even 400 to 500, is 25.98%. So, you've got, half the market, just, between 300 and 500,000. But again, that's just the sweet spot because that's what is affordable. All right, last but not least are the apartment condos, and they are also continuing to be very, very sought after at 76.79%. And it was only a short time ago that we were in the buyer's market of under 20%. So what a complete turnaround it is for condos. I guess that this comes down to, again, as being affordability. I mean, our benchmark price is now $303,200. And that is an increase of 11.76% from June of last year, and it's up 1.54% month over month. So same thing, no end in sight. But I was watching this stat for a long time, that the peak of the market at 292, and I was, we've been following this all along, those dark years of when it just dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped, and then here we are. For the whole year, we're at 289, and this last month at 303. So, we've now surpassed where we were in 2014. So, if you had bought a condo then and you want to get out of it now and get your money out, this is now the time to do it, because you should be able to get back what you paid, or who knows, maybe you will even get a little bit of a profit. Not everybody is at a break even yet on their condo, but most people are at least at a break even from when they bought it in the peak of the market of 2014 and 2015. Here's the hard numbers: 857 out of 1,116 that were listed. So that's just really, really healthy. 28 days on average to sell, and you can see half the market is between 200 and 300,000. And then a lot more in the 300 to 400. But I mean, your 75% of the market is under 400,000. So that's just a really, really healthy market in that price range. But if you have a condo that's over 400, you can see that it's definitely a little tougher to sell those to this day, because the demand just happens to be right in that price. All right, I'm going to wrap this video up by giving a plug-in for my book that I put out, Selling Secrets You Can't Afford to Miss. And I'm mentioning this because I want you to request a copy of this book. It's only 100 pages. It's not a long book, but in this market that we're in right now for sellers, believe me, there is strategy. I can't stress this enough. When you're dealing with multiple offers and a high demand, if you do it right, you will find yourself selling your property at a price you never thought possible. The other day I had someone mention to me that, well, I'm just going to try to sell it off market. Bad idea. If you sell it off market, you just don't have the ability to create a possible auction on your house. And auctions have a strategy, and you do it right, you can get people bidding and your house can sell for a lot more. It would be a mistake to not have a strategy. And I talk about this in my book. You can read it, or of course you can even just reach out to me if you want to. But just go ahead and you can see up here, you can request a copy, this landing page, and I'll give it to you for free, no strings attached. And if you're buying, I have the same thing. Whether you're an experienced buyer or whether you're new to buying, I don't care who you are. There are a lot of strategies with buying. And right now, getting your offer accepted, there is a strategy with this. I happen to have a lot of relationships with agents in and around Calgary. Many of them were my students when I was teaching. And I can tell you the ability to have those relationships can really help in getting an offer accepted. There seems to be better communication, and you get a lot of help from the other side to be able to give you an understanding of where you need to be in order to get your offer accepted. I just had one recently where it was really helpful working with the other agent who I had a good relationship with, and he just gave me a good indication of where his sellers wanted to be, and that allowed us to get our offer accepted. Now, that's just one of many strategies. It doesn't always go that way. Sometimes it's just a pure bidding war, and you just have to position your offer to make it look the most attractive as well. And there's strategy around that with still being able to protect yourself. I cover all of this in my book. I talk about warranty that we provide on used houses as well to give you that extra peace of mind, which, by the way, can be really helpful if you're going in with an offer that doesn't have conditions, which we're seeing a lot of that. So again, reach out to me with any questions on that, but you can feel free to read the book. And I don't care, like I said, if you're experienced or not. I have worked with, well over 1,000 people in my career of helping them buy and sell, and there's still little things you can learn. So it doesn't matter if you've bought and sold 3, 4, or 5 homes, you'll find some interesting stuff in this book. So have yourself a wonderful stampede, a wonderful month of July. And let's see what happens this month. I'm looking forward to it. It should be very, very interesting.